What's up, YouTube? So today was a weird one. Today I interviewed my boss. A 30-minute interview, me interviewing my boss, because I'm used to being on the other side of that. I think everyone's used to being on the other side now, like who interviews their boss, right? I asked him a whole bunch of questions like what he looks for in applicants. Does he think college is worth it? What does he think about boot camp? We talked about salary numbers. We had all of that. We were getting down to the nitty-gritty, brutally honest truth of what you can expect from a dev boot camp. And then his sound didn't record. Okay, so this is my boss. His name is Ben. He's a pretty chill boss, one of the coolest bosses I've ever had. And he's gonna tell us what he thinks and what he looks for when he's hiring applicants. So Ben, could you just tell us a little bit about yourself?
Why you have to be mad?
There's no sound from him. There's only sound from me because in video desktop record was listening to my speakers here and it wasn't listening to the headset that I used, so there was no reverb. You know, Cliff Notes are a good thing, so let's go Cliff Notes style today for the interview with the boss. And I'm so rustled. Get straight to the interview. So I asked him, tell us about yourself. And these are things I didn't really know about my boss, but apparently he has 13 years experience now in development, and before that he was making pizza in a Target food court, and he was doing self-taught stuff, and he found some PHP and he was learning, he was teaching himself PHP, and then he got a job at this one place that was looking to hire, and they hired the junior guy and they're like, we know you want to learn, so we're gonna hire you. Can you really have an office job without a degree? You know, like a white collar, no manual labor type job without a degree? And his boss was like, yeah, you don't need a degree. Don't even worry about it. Nothing there is actually going to help you in web development. Side note, computer science degrees will help you if you want to do data science or something, or machine learning, things like that. They're kind of niche right now, but they're going to explode pretty soon since a lot of jobs are going to be automated. So after that, he worked there for 4.5 years. And then he got a new job, and in that job he was the lead developer, manager, hiring manager, all those titles combined into one. What do you look for in applicants? He says, applicants that go above and beyond when I give them a code challenge. If I put a bug in there and I don't tell them initially in the code challenge when I give it to them that the bug, I don't tell them that it's there, and they find it and then they solve it, that to me is great. And I said, okay, well, what about your GitHub? Does your GitHub really matter when you were looking at me? Does your GitHub really matter? And he's like, well, I did look, and I looked that you didn't just use boilerplate and copy and paste someone else's code and then add a few white spaces and then be like, yep, Josh Fluke uploaded this is mine. And he's like, nah, all this is original stuff that you tried to make, things like that. If I look at someone else's code and I see that it's just straight copy and paste from somewhere else and they're claiming it as their own, then that's a red flag, instant reject. Why did he hire me? And he said, well, because I solved the bug in the interview, and then when he was asking me questions in the interview, he was asking me about accessibility, for blind people and deaf people, people that can't use a keyboard, those kinds of things. And I was like, well, I knew that there's different types of color blindness, but I'd have to Google around to see what kind of tools are out there so that you could... Anyways, I didn't really know an answer. I didn't have a good answer for that. And he's like, that's one thing, you were honest about it. You didn't know, but you said you'd have to look, but you were willing to learn, and you don't think that you're a know-it-all, and he thought that was a good quality. I asked him, what can a bootcamp grad expect? He's like, maybe $50,000 to $60,000 in terms of salary. He's like, don't expect $100,000. That's for senior developers. But keep in mind that even when you do apply for those senior developer positions, because companies are generally going to discuss, do we hire 2 junior people or do we hire 1 senior dev? 2 junior people are going to be looking to prove themselves and work super hard and get maybe not twice the work done, or we can hire 1 guy who's only going to be able to do the work of 1 person, even though he's smarter, more experienced, knows the stuff a lot clearer, he's only 1 person. Or you can have 2 people that work really hard, want to prove themselves, want to learn, or give them that opportunity, don't really care about the money right then, and then when that time comes around for an annual review, they'll get a little bit of a raise and they'll think, hey, I'm doing really good, and that's just the way of the business world, that's just how it works. What advice would you give to a new bootcamp graduate? And he said, apply everywhere, but expect to be rejected. Depending on the size of the company, if it's a huge company, huge HR, really office space type, managers managing managers that are managers, don't, like, you're not even going to make it anywhere. They're going to be like, keep trying new code. Have some technology forums, blog posts, Twitter, people that you follow that keep up with the tech stack. Because when they ask you about who are you following, how are you keeping up to date with technology for, when you're on a project and that project ends, and be like, okay, let's do a new project. What stack are we going to use? That's when you can chime in with those bits of information that you've been looking at, things that you've been following online, like Hacker News, people on Twitter, different YouTube channels. MPJ, for example, he's a pretty cool dude. I asked him, a lot of boot camps, like, they're like, okay, go message people on LinkedIn and ask them if they're in charge of hiring or do they know someone that's hiring. And he says, that personally turns me off, and it kind of bugs me because I already have your resume and I know it's there. Asking me to double acknowledge it wouldn't make me outright reject you, but just be patient. And if you get the interview with me, then go ahead and connect with me and then connect with the people I know and kind of do some research. And you don't have to be awkward about it and try and send them messages. Like, they know what's up. They know that you've applied to the job, and they're going to connect with you, and then you're going to connect with his coworkers, and you're kind of... So when you go to the interview and be like, hey, yeah, we connected on LinkedIn and we didn't speak yet, but, it's finally good to meet you, then that awkward breaking the ice type deal when you're at the interview isn't so bad. And there's kind of like that initial warmth for everything around you. It's not like, hi, I am X and it's nice to meet you. And it's just like, really... Just go above and beyond, and employers will see that. And when you're in the interview, don't be afraid to be honest. Like, hey, I want to learn. I know that I'm new. I'm not expecting $250K a year. I just want to learn. I just want a job. This is my passion. Like, what do I want to be when I grow up? I want to be a programmer. What do I want to do after that? I want to program some code. That's what they want to hear. They want to hear that you're passionate about what you do, and that's what you would do as a job if you didn't have to have a job. So pretty much solve code challenges, go over the top. Don't use, if you're applying to a React job, don't use an Angular framework unless they say that you can use whatever you want. Use the React, but apply to jobs with stacks that you don't know, because they might be like, hey, if you can do this code challenge in JavaScript, oh yeah, he can probably learn our language. That was really it. He had a lot more to say than that, in terms of just explaining from his experience and talking about me and my coworkers. But from the Cliff Notes style of this, because this was a 32-minute interview, and I don't really know who's going to sit and watch a 32-minute interview video anyways, and he didn't have his webcam on, so it would just be you looking at a Hangout screen. So at least this is a little bit more interactive. I mean, I can't shake your hand, but you get what I'm saying? If you have any questions or comments about this interview, or my paraphrasing of the interview per se, leave them down below. If you have any comments, tell me what you think. I'll respond. What's good? And if you want to see more of these videos, make sure to hit the little bell, subscribe to my channel, and you get updates and notifications whenever that. I make vlogs, motivational videos, coding videos, film tutorials, a bunch of different stuff on this channel, and including code and code tutorials that are coming here pretty soon. I also have a UI UX interview coming up and talking about how that position is kind of integrating programming into that, so you're not just sitting in Photoshop and wireframing all day anymore these days. So we're going to talk about that soon. That video is coming out this week sometime. And if you like this, I have a Patreon. If you want to support it, cool. If not, cool. It's awkward. How you ask for people's money, man? Otherwise, I will see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching.